Let me get this situated. I'll show you what we're going to be painting. The replay will stay up. But I did this the other day, so I figured I'd do kind of like a tutorial on it. It's just like a little overhead ocean view. So I'll go over the supplies that I'm using. You don't have to use what I have, you can just use whatever you have. Anything works. It's not so much about what colors you're using. But I'll show you kind of what I'm using as I go. I think I'm going to do a bigger version of it. You can do a smaller version of it if you want to, though. Okay. So I'm just going to tape all around. Get my paper ready. If you want to paint along, paint along. If you just want to relax and enjoy, just relax and enjoy. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with wet on wet. So I'm going to take a bigger paintbrush and I'm just going to cover the entire page with water. I go over it a few times to make sure that it stays wet as long as I need it to. Okay. So now that I have my paper wet, I'm gonna let it sit for a moment and settle. I'm going to use mostly Winsor & Newton. This is the Cotman series for pretty much all of it. It's really only maybe like 3 colors. And then I am going to use a couple. These are from the ocean paper. I'm just going to use like the light tan for the sand area. For whoever's just joining, I will show. I have this painting up on my page already, but this is what I'm going to be redoing. I'm just going to be doing a little bit larger. So if you want to paint along, paint along. If you just want to relax and watch, you can just relax and watch. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the water. Hi, Stray. I'm just going to work my way down. So you can use whatever color you want. I believe this is, I can't get my pen out to kind of see, but any lighter blue, because I'm going to come in with some darker blues. But I'm just going to take this down the page. About to the midway point, and then I'm going to bring it into a diagonal. Just like that, because that's going to kind of be where my sand meets my water. I'm going to let that sit for just a moment, and I'm going to work on my sand in the meantime. And so with the sand, I'm going to start lighter, and then I'm going to bring some darker areas in. So this is the ocean set from Ocean Paper. They're all handmade. They're my favorites. They're a little bit pricey, so I only have 2 sets of them, but I love how they paint. And then with the light tan, I'm just going to bring it from the bottom and let my paint run out and just bring it as close to the water line as possible. So that's the base of the sand. And then I'm going to kind of drop in some darker, just to kind of give it some depth up by where the water is, give it some type of a shadow so that it doesn't look so flat. Because once the waves are in, it'll look more 3D. Also, I'm not an art teacher. I just figured it'd be fun to kind of go live while I'm painting so you guys can kind of see my process. I figure I'll do this maybe daily as I paint. But then I'll also have the video posted onto my channel, and I will also make shorts from it. So it's a little bit darker up in here, just to really separate it from the rest, because the waves are going to be up in here. And I'm just going to kind of blend it in. Take some water off of that. Okay, so I just added some darker tans in to kind of break it up, make it not look so flat. And I'm going to go back to my water. I'm going to kind of drop in some darker blues just to give it the illusion that there's like, you know, like a coral reef underneath. All right. So I'm just gonna go in with some darker blues and drop them in around. I'm gonna go in with like an indigo and just kind of make spots that are darker. It doesn't really matter where you drop them in, as long as you drop them in. They don't have to be the same. I'm gonna add more water to my brush and kind of blend it in. I might do a little bit of Payne's Gray just to add like a little bit of more depth to it. That's a good base. It's gonna be loud for a minute. I have a little dryer tool. I'm just gonna dry it real quick so I don't have to wait for everything to dry. And I'm gonna start adding in the waves with Winsor & Newton white gouache. Okay, so that's dry. I'm gonna let it sit for a moment to kind of cool off. Oh, thanks, Megan. Okay. And then once I give it a minute, I'm gonna use dry brushing. I'm just gonna go over it with some Winsor & Newton and kind of add in the waves to give it like this white texture of the waves. Okay. So now I like to use like kind of like a rough brush. I don't like it to be, I'll show you kind of what I mean. Like I use this one, it has like kind of like a rough tip on it. I don't know if you can really see it. But I use it for like a lot of my waves and dry brushing details because it gives it like the rough texture that I want it to have. So I'm gonna dry my brush off completely. And sometimes I kind of just like run it along the side to make sure it's gonna come off the texture I need to. I kind of just take some of it off. And then I'm gonna start coming across and just dry brushing it on, and it'll give the illusion of waves. I'll probably add more darkness around the sand line after I get the waves in, but we'll see. And I just kind of take it across. I try not to go in a straight line or anything because waves don't hit the same every time. So I try to just be super random with it. So I'm just going to go over certain parts to kind of make it stand out more, like the wave is crashing there a little bit more. And I'm going to take it back this way some as well. I'm just going to start bringing it back a little bit. It's a little bit too much, so I'm just going to take some off my brush and come back in. And then just kind of smooth it out. That works. Just kind of putting it around just to give it the illusion that, you know, there's waves crashing back here before they break on the shore. I think that I'm pretty happy with that. And then I think I'm gonna add some more dark along here just to give it like the 3D effect. I'll go in, I think, with a smaller brush. And we'll do just a little bit darker. Just kind of go along here. I'm just going to go ahead and dry it, and that might be it. It's super simple whenever you break it down. I like how that looks. I'm going to smooth it out just a little bit with some water. So I'm going to go ahead and dry it, and I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so this is the final. Pretty simple to get the effect. I think it's really pretty. It's fun to paint as well. So I'm going to try to go live. I'll keep this replay up on my page if you want to watch another time and paint along. It will be up and available. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I will answer them as best as I can. I do have an Instagram. It's road.backtome23 on Instagram if you have any questions to DM me. I'm also on TikTok, bmarieart. I'm going to try to go live daily. I don't really know exact time, so if you want to subscribe and turn on the notifications, it will notify you whenever I go live. Normally it's during the day, but I will pop on sometimes in the evenings. I figure I'll just start going live and painting my process. That way that video is up for anybody who wants to paint along or just relax and watch. But thank you for joining. But yeah, I hope to see you guys again next time.